Hello and welcome. In this video, we will learn about Lambda functions. Alright. A Lambda function is a small anonymous function that is designed for one-time use. Okay. Once we have used it, we typically do not need it anymore. Alright. Let me write a normal function and then show you how to convert it into a Lambda function. Alright. So I will write a program that squares a number and prints it out. Okay. So I will say def and I will say double, and inside the bracket I will say num. It takes one parameter by the name num. And here I will say print num star 2. Okay. And now when we call the function by sending any arguments, it squares and it gives us the result. So this is a normal function which does that. Now let me clear this and delete this and convert this into a Lambda function. Okay. The syntax of a Lambda function is this. So I will have it here. Alright. In this place, we need to have the arguments. And in this function, we only have one argument, which is num. So I will copy num and paste it here. And in this place, we need to have the expression. Here we have this expression, and so let me copy it and paste it here. Alright. So this here is an equivalent Lambda function of this. Meaning this Lambda function performs the exact same function that this function does. Okay. So let me comment this out. And now I will store this in a variable. Okay. Now double is the name we have assigned to the Lambda function. In a way, double acts as a variable because it is storing a function which is nothing but the Lambda expression. Okay. This Lambda function takes one argument num and returns its value after multiplying by 2. Alright. While we can assign Lambda functions to variables like this, they are more commonly used directly within other functions. Alright. We will learn those in the future. Do not worry about it right now. Okay. Now, if I want to use this function, then I have to call the function. So I will say double and then pass 2. This 2 will be passed to num, and then 2 into 2 will be done, and the result will be stored in double. Now I have to print the result out, right? So when I run this, I get 4 as the output. If I pass 5 and if I run it, then I get 10 as the output. Alright. So this is how a Lambda function works. Alright. Now, when you compare this normal function with this Lambda function, this Lambda function looks simpler, correct? We can use this Lambda function instead of normal function, right? Now, let me proceed to the next example. I will write the normal definition first and then convert it into a Lambda function and explain it to you. Alright. I will write a function to add two numbers. I will say def add, and I will say num1 comma num2, and inside the function I will print num1 plus num2. Alright, so this is a normal function, and to call this function we have to say add, and then we have to pass two arguments. So when I run this, I get 5 as the output. Correct? Yes, so we know this. Now let us convert this into a lambda function or a lambda expression. Here we need to have the arguments, and in this case we have two arguments, num1 and num2. To the lambda functions we can send as many arguments as we want, but it can have only one expression. Alright, so the expression here is num1 plus num2, and so we will paste it here. Alright, now we will store it in a variable like this. I will comment this out and I will call the lambda function. I will say print and add, and I will send 2 and 4. Alright, when I run this, I get 6 as the output. 2 will be sent to num1, 4 will be sent to num2, num1 plus num2 will be done, and it will be stored in this variable, and I am printing the variable out. Alright. Next, let me write a program to concatenate a string. Okay, I will delete this and I will say def full name, and in brackets I will say f name comma l name. Okay, f name for first name, l name for last name, and then I will say print f name plus and a blank space plus last name. Alright, and then I will call the function by passing Ravi and Kumar. Alright, so when I run this, I get Ravi Kumar as the output. Okay, this is our normal function. Now let us convert this into a lambda function. I will copy this and paste it here. In the place of arguments, I will have these two, and in the place of expression, I will have this. Alright, I will comment this out and I will store this in a variable by the name full name. Okay, next I will print and call full name and pass Manoj and Kumar. Alright, so when I run this, I get Manoj Kumar as the output. Okay, so it is as simple as this. This is our lambda function. Okay, now let me write a function to find maximum of two numbers. Okay, I will say def and max. I will say num1, or let me say x and y. Okay, and inside I will say if x is greater than y, then print, I will use an f string, x is greater than y. Okay, and I will copy this and I will say else print y is greater than x. Alright, a simple program. And now I will call this function and pass 3 and 6. Okay, I will run this and I get 6 is greater than 3. Alright, so it is working fine. Now let me delete this and convert this into a lambda function. I will copy this syntax and paste it here. And in the place of arguments, I will have x comma y. And now in the place of expression, I will copy this, okay, and paste it here. And after that, I will have this, and after that, I will have else, and then I will have this, okay. Meaning, if x is greater than y, do this, else do this, okay. I will store this in max, okay, and I will comment this out. All right, yes. Now I will call this using a print function. I will say max and I will pass 5 and 9, okay. So I will run this and I get 9 is greater than 5. I will pass 50 and 9 and I get 50 is greater than 9. Alright. So we have converted this to a one line lambda function. Okay. Now I will write one more function to check if a number is even or not. Okay. So I will delete this and I will say def and I will say is even, okay, is even, and I will pass a number to it, and I will say if number divided by 2 leaves no remainder, then print the number is even, okay, else print the number is odd, okay. Now I will run this by calling the function, okay. I will send 3 to it and it says the number is odd, and I will send 6 to it and it says the number is even. Alright. Now let me convert this into a lambda function. I will copy this and paste it here, and here we have only one argument, so I will paste it here, and in the place of expression I will copy this and paste it here, and I will have this here, and next else, and then this here. Alright, so we have written the equivalent lambda function. And now I will store this in is even variable, okay, and I will comment this out. And now I will call this lambda function inside a print statement, and I will pass 7 to it, okay. So I will run it and it says the number is odd, and I will pass 76 and it says the number is even. Alright. Now if I remove this and if I remove this and have only this much, then the output would be either true or false, the Boolean values, okay. So I will call this function now and you can see the result as true, okay. I will call this by passing 7 and you can see the result as false. It will tell us whether this is true or not if we do not have an if-else statement, okay. So this is how we use lambda functions. Alright. These are powerful for creating small single use functions. Okay, these lambda functions help keep our code cleaner by avoiding the need for formal function definition. Okay, because we would be needing these temporarily. All right, we can appreciate the lambda functions when we use these with functions like map, filter, reduce, which we have not learned yet. Okay, we will learn them later, so I cannot tell you much about it. All right, so just remember that they don't require a formal name like regular function defined with def, and also remember that they can take any number of arguments but can have only one expression. All right.